What's going on, gamers? So I ran into this review here by Mr. Matty Plays about the Xbox Ally X. And one thing I like about this guy is he's giving me the answer that I wanted and to show me games without frame gen being on to see how it runs against the Switch 2. Boy, this is a scam. This guy's getting 32 frames on Oblivion Remaster, but not only that, let's talk about Cyberpunk here. Are we ready? This is about to get very interesting. Let's just go right into this, guys, because I have to tell you, um, one thing that I don't like about this gen, just like a lot of other people, it's the same thing that happened with the NVIDIA cards and everything else, is they're rushing out these products with AI upscaling and frame gen, and when you would take it off, you would realize it was not optimized and that it was rushed out. We have some situations here that I think people really need to know about, and because if you don't, you're not going to even know how to set it or tune it if you're just a console player getting into this. So let's get started. Like, comment, subscribe. Here we go.
I also fired up Cyberpunk 2077.
Let's stop right here. This is where it ends, guys. I That's 29 frames per second. He doesn't have on frame gen. He's trying to show us the real truth. We see this. 29 frames without frame gen up? And he had to tweak settings. Yeah, this is pretty embarrassing. I was hoping that, like some 40 frames from VR or something, but this 29 is not that good. So don't get me wrong, I liked L's comparisons, but he puts on frame gen all the time. A lot of people saying, dude, can we get some footage without frame gen? Now we're getting it.
This one, also to my surprise, took a lot more tweaking and twerking than I would have thought it would have. Because, we have this Switch 2 right back here, and the Switch 2 did get a pretty solid Cyberpunk 2077 port. You saw some
And you can dock it and upscale it.
drawback with the hair and whatnot, but I tried everything from running this thing on basic medium settings to low settings with upscalers to turning off the upscaler and actually getting better performance.
Like you said, turning off the upscaler, he's trying to see like how good this thing actually is. 33 frames? Not that that's bad for Cyberpunk and handheld mode, but it's like, I'm paying you $1,000.
Out of it. It's a bit of a weird one on the Ally X. So it took a lot of moving around, eventually got it in the more stable
22 frames. Does this remind us of some of the video stuff? Of the AI rushing out? You know what I mean? This is something I tried to warn people about. This is not good.
low 40s, high 30s, which I was pretty okay with, but again, took a bit of work to get there. There's a bit of the struggle out of the box with this, where if you're a, say, newcomer to PC handheld gaming, I definitely wouldn't recommend this device or really any type of Ally. Like,
I want some answers for this from you. I want to see what you guys have to say about that.
not even one where it's, oh, I bought it on eBay out of the box. I'm going to use the Xbox update and basically get the same UI that you get on this device, but for much cheaper. You can do that. I just think that you get the pain in the ass component of PC gaming with this device in spades, as I'll now start to break down. But just on a usability standpoint, when it comes to games and optimization, obviously this is more at the developer front, but it does take work to get some of these going.
Yeah, you'll be sitting there all day trying to get that going. So the thing with frame gen too is that it gives you fake frames and the MS spikes big time. And on that handheld with a lower screen, I don't want that for long play. It's just gonna make my mind not want to engage with it.
Another thing that I bumped into a couple of times early on that I feel is worth mentioning is that you have the library button up here. This is the top button on the right. And then you have the pause button or the start button or the options button, whatever the hell they want to call it nowadays, right below it. And so basically you have 3 horizontal lines and then you have 3 vertical lines for your library button and your pause button. The problem with this is the amount of times I would accidentally hit the library button and tab out of a game, and then you'd have to like hold the Xbox button, tab over, reopen your application. Sometimes the application wasn't even there. It was definitely like a beginner problem, but again, it gets into what I'm going to talk about now, which is the out of the box experience for this device it's terrible. Like, I'm sorry, it's still really bad in my opinion. And if this is indicative, I'm only going this hard because if it's indicative of what Xbox is doing for the next generation, and it's going to ship in some way like this, where Windows is still this much in my face, it's going to be a problem. So I want to give the harsh yet fair criticism here and now. First off, it's the problem that the original ROG Ally had. It's just that there's updates everywhere and they take forever. Out of the box for like an hour and a half, 2 hours while I was reviewing the Outer Worlds 2. Thank God I had something else to do, right? Asus updates, Armory Crate updates, Windows updates out the ass, Xbox app updates, and we actually caught something funny on camera with a genuine reaction when I got a notification to go and update my Xbox app. I went, okay, it's a gaming device. I'm going to update my Xbox app. Just watch what happened.
What the fuck? What the fuck is all this? Are you fucking serious? What the? My Windows camera?
That's an Xbox? That's a PC. That's stuff you get on a PC. And you see, this is where you want to see these angles. And there's people that might be able to go through that and say, man, I'll wait, whatever, you know what I mean? But if you are somebody thinking, I can't wait to get this console experience, guys, there's a lot of things you're gonna have to know here, like I said, and you're gonna have to learn how PC works. Because you can get a game like Cyberpunk, but if you don't know how to tweak the settings right, you're probably gonna say, man, I didn't want to do that. I thought we were just gonna get quality, performance. Could I get something like that? Nope. You're gonna have to find something recommended or something. You have to mess around with it. You might have to get drivers. You have to do different things to make it run better that you don't know about, that maybe some nerdy person may know. So try to keep you a close friend by, if you have this, so he can help you understand this. Otherwise, yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be in for a rude awakening. This is why we got to keep making these videos. I'm just trying to see from as much as possible, and then if I were you, I would decide on my decision. But that Cyberpunk performance just is disappointing.
What?
And people are promoting fake frames.
This is unbelievable. Oh my god. Oh my god. I only wanted to update the Xbox app.
Yeah, this is like my biggest problem with the device. Like, I think about this one right here. This came out years ago. It's the Logitech G Cloud gaming handheld. This thing is awesome. I love remote play. I also have to say, even as someone who's a big video game collector, I'm a huge believer in cloud streaming. I don't think it should be the way to game, but one of the ways to game, it has plenty of use cases for me. Out of the box, this device has 2 modes upon setup. One of them is a gaming mode, and on that gaming mode, it preloads all of the apps that you need. Like, here's Steam Link, here's your Xbox app, here's everything you need if you are a gamer buying this device. That is desperately what I think Xbox needs to do if they're unifying Windows with Xbox, because the amount of useless programs, why does this have the Windows camera app? Why do I have Teams on here? Why do I have OneNote? Why do I have a calculator on this thing? I know that this ultimately is that kind of Windows bloat, and this is the de-bloated version. I know that having the calculator on the computer is really not taking away major performance to my knowledge, but it is the fact that it is updating when I am trying to focus on updating one app, and I click the refresh button, and here comes 12 different applications to get updated. It is infuriating, and if Xbox insists on doing it this way, and putting Windows on these devices, that is okay. I just think they should take a page out of another partner that they did work with, because this originally launched with like Game Pass compatibility. Xbox was doing marketing behind it. They just need to have a gaming mode out of the box that says basically these programs are not going to be installed, because at the end of the day, I understand I could plug this in, hook it up to a monitor, and use it as a computer, and that's how some people will justify it. I understand that. But when I see these here, buttons and analog sticks, it is no longer a computer to me. It is a gaming device. That is where, I'm pulling out all the handhelds right now, that is where this device is still king for a lot of people in the Steam Deck OLED. It's not only like half the price, or at one point recently it was on sale, so it was less than half the price, but it is that out of the box ease of access. The problem I have right now with the Ally X is that it really is a battle to get things going. I don't like that. I'm excited to use my new device, and it is like pulling teeth to get this thing up and running. Like, oh, I got to wait for this to reset and waiting for this to optimize. And obviously, even little things that do add up are things like, say, on Steam Deck, we know Valve has shaders that get uploaded to their server. So when you go to start up a new game on PC, there is no waiting for shaders to compile unless there's a brand new update or a driver update or something like that, right? Whereas here on the Ally X, when I went to fire up Oblivion Remastered, I'm like, oh, compiling shaders. It just gives me a lot of reasons, as you'll see here, to just put the device down and go do something else. There is always that eagerness when you're setting something up. And I'm not trying to say that can't be there where it's like, oh man, I can't wait to play. But the fact that this is the next iteration of Xbox kind of stepping into this PC handheld space and trying out this more unified user interface, it's got a lot of potential. But like, I just feel there's a lot getting in the way. And there's also things that I found a little bit more concerning, like this isn't handled yet. To me, it was just noticing that sometimes the UI was not controller friendly in this new Xbox app. Like navigating it, I would sometimes just be like, okay, I'm gonna use my finger because that's not working now. There's just a lot of pulling teeth to this thing. It feels like it needs time and work, which is why if you pay attention.
That's what I was telling you guys, when this device comes out, it's gonna need some time. It's not gonna be perfect. So yeah, we knew that was happening though.
The Xbox rumor mill, you know, they were working on a dedicated handheld. They shelved that to pretty much use this as like a guinea pig to learn from it. And they better learn from it, because this isn't like, I'm not trying to sell it like it's god awful, but for $1,000, I want this thing to just out of the box be good to go. For $1,000, I don't want to see my calculator updating when I click to update just my Xbox app. That is literally Windows being Windows. And I thought I was the only one, but I was talking to our editor Dan about it, and I was watching channels like Giant Bomb fight through this thing through its entire setup process for like an hour and a half.
So in my experience, getting this Xbox full screen mode to work kind of happened by accident, because at some point, you know, I spent half a day, I'm not joking, I spent half a day updating this thing, because when I first got it in the mail, I opened it up and I went right to Windows Update, and I was like, okay, I have gigs and gigs to download of Windows updates.
Okay, it's launching. That's an Xbox logo.
Oh no!
It's not.
Why is it doing that?
It's not full screen.
Wait, hold down the Xbox button.
Okay.
It's not.
I know some people argue that, well, you know, once you get beyond the setup process and about the games, like, it's fine. But that's why I was trying to illustrate, like, even things such as, like, oops, I accidentally went to desktop mode, or I feel I need to go to desktop mode to go install something. For example, my Microsoft Store library does not automatically migrate into my Xbox library, so I need to actually open up desktop mode to install something. And then when you switch back to the Xbox app and you go into full screen mode, they say that it's not going to be as optimized, and if you want the optimized performance, then you need to restart the system. So again, you have another thing that just gets in your way. I hope this doesn't come across ranty and ravey, because ultimately that's why I wanted to front load the video with the things I like. There's a lot.
Yeah, people need to know what the hell they're going to be dealing with. So no, this is good.
Lot here that is good or could be great or even excellent. It's just that I'm so surprised by how much of this device I feel has all of the issues that the original Ally had, that Xbox was marketing was going to be like out of the way. Is it improved compared to the Ally? Yeah, a little bit, but like when I look at just how many updates I'm firing through, how often I'm literally fighting with Windows, and then the jump scare I had in my updates menu, it's a lot more than I expected, and maybe that's just me being naive in the situation. One thing that they did do a good job of optimizing was the implementation of Armory Crate within the UI here. So with the original Ally, like firing up Armory Crate and messing with that and then messing with Windows, like these were two separate beasts. The way they've come together now, where you have the Xbox button here and then you have the Armory Crate button right above it, you can just press that, and with a simple click, you're just suddenly sifting through like turbo mode, or if you want silent mode, like how much wattage do you want to use? Do you want to turn on the FPS limiter? Do you want to turn on your FPS tracker? So I thought that was a lot more easy to use, where originally Armory Crate was like a complete headache to use. So the too long didn't read. If Xbox is watching this video and they're like, okay, Maddie, we want what you just said in a nutshell, it's simply this. I need a gaming mode. that when I fire this thing up, I've got no crap in my way. It is a gaming device, and that's it. And the desktop mode is as optional as it is on your direct competitor in the Steam Deck, unless I hit
Good luck though. That's gonna be tough.
a funky combination of buttons. I am not seeing the desktop of Windows at all. I think that would solve a metric ton of issues. I think the funny part is that's what this was supposed to be, right? This is supposed to be a de-bloated version of Windows, and I think with the battery life and whatnot, we can see those improvements there. The performance is solid enough in some areas that I experienced where I'm like, okay, we can see those improvements. So there were some gains here, but in the terms of like getting Windows out of my face, I think there's some work there. So a game
26 frames per second.
gaming mode would be great, just offloading even more useless Windows programs. If you want to include them, so be it. But again, if I do not click that, we'll say worker mode, where I want my calculator and I want my clock getting updated, then they can install. But if I don't want that and I'm on gamer mode, I want just video game stuff. I think the Xbox experience on this device is the most smooth, whether it's firing up a game from the Xbox app or utilizing Game Pass or cloud streaming. I don't think you'd ever want to cloud stream on this device because it's just so powerful. Like, it's an install only device, in my opinion. Like, you can get, if you're interested in cloud streaming, something for much cheaper that'll last you like dozens of hours, by the way. Like, this thing does not die at all. Logitech G Cloud gaming handheld, I swear by this thing. If you think you're losing gaming time and you're like, man, if only I just had like a handheld option, I could pick up it real quick, play my console games, like, that is your device. That is my Xbox Ally right there. So what I was getting at with all of this is with the Ally, I feel that the experience going over to Steam in the big picture mode works pretty well. I would just like to see that same seamlessness that Xbox's app has when I navigate to others. I'd like it to feel that way too. But overall, again, like seeing this unified approach, I'm like, okay, I get this. And if I had this on like a console in a living room and this was much more optimized and Windows was out of the way, this could be really interesting. So I see the vision. I just think it needs to be refined a lot more. Anyway, I've given you more thoughts than I thought I really had. I'm in the mood for pizza, so I'm going to go get some. I'm probably going to get a calzone with it.
All right, guys, let me know what you guys think about this. See what I mean? This is the stuff you need to see. This is why I bring you the other angle so you can get the full picture. We know this thing has some problems and has a lot of work to do. It's not perfect, and they're not God. So let me know what you guys think about this. All right, peace out, y'all. Have a great day. Just keep it going.